Welcome to the Family Bible Journey. Did you know that when you subscribe to the podcast and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, that you actually make it easier for other people to find the Family Bible Journey? So please follow and subscribe. And thank you for listening. This is episode 304, season 1 of the Family Bible Journey Old Testament podcast. Today we're looking at Job chapter 39. The title of today's podcast is Heights of God's Wisdom. And our key verses for today are the entirety of Job chapter 39, where we read, God said, "Do you know when the mountain goats give birth? Do you observe the calving of the does? Can you number the mountains that they fulfill? And do you know the time when they give birth? When they crouch, bring forth their offspring, and are delivered of their young. Their young ones become strong. They grow up in the open. They go out and do not return to them. Who has let the wild donkey go free? Who has loosed the bonds of the swift donkey, to whom I have given the arid plain for his home, and the salt land for his dwelling place? He scorns the tumult of the city. He hears not the shouts of the driver. He ranges the mountains as his pasture, and he searches after every green thing. Is the wild ox willing to serve you? Will he spend the night at your manger? Can you bind him in the furrow with ropes? Or will he harrow the valleys after you? Will you depend on him because his strength is great? And will you leave to him your labor? Do you have faith in him that he will return to your grain and gather it in your threshing floor? The wings of the ostrich wave proudly, but they are the pinions and plumage of love. For she leaves her eggs to the earth and lets them be warmed on the ground, forgetting that a foot may crush them, and that the wild beast may trample them. She deals cruelly with her young, as if they were not hers. Though her labor be in vain, yet she has no fear, because God has made her forget wisdom and given her no share in understanding. When she rouses herself to flee, she laughs at the horse and its rider. Do you give the horse his might? Do you clothe his neck with a mane? Do you make him leap like the locust? His majestic snorting is terrifying. He paws in the valley and exults in his strength. He goes out to meet the weapons. He laughs at fear and is not dismayed. He does not turn back from the sword. Upon him rattle the quiver, the flashing spear, and the javelin. With fierceness and rage he swallows the ground. He cannot stand still at the sound of the trumpet. When the trumpet sounds, he says, Aha! He smells the battle from afar, the thunder of the captains and the shouting. Is it by your understanding that the hawk soars and spreads his wings toward the south? Is it at your command that the eagle mounts up and makes his nest on high? On the rock he dwells and makes his home, on the rocky crag and stronghold. From there he spies out the prey. His eyes behold it from far away. His young ones suck up blood, and where their slain are, there is he. This is the word of the Lord. So as God continues his discourse here in the book of Job, chapter 38, as a reminder, was an explanation or a description of God's greatness by exploring many of the depths of this earth. The earth itself, the sea, the skies, the heavens above. But in this chapter, God describes his intimate knowledge of the heights of this world. I love his reference to the mountain goats in chapter 39, the ibex. One of the coolest things that I've been able to witness in the Holy Land. We were near En-Gedi one time on the western shore of the Dead Sea, and we were surrounded by a herd of mountain goats, ibex. They're a beautiful creature. You can look them up for yourself. These little mountain goats, we watched them climbing up into acacia trees just to find a green blade of grass. And then when they got started, we watched them run straight up the valley, up towards En-Gedi, and scale cliffs that were literally straight up and down. You didn't even see where it was that their foot found a hold, but they ran as quickly as they could, scampered up the cliffs, and it was not even a minute after the flock startled that they were all completely gone, disappeared up into the heights of the hills. And God describes his knowledge of these creatures because human beings, in all their craftiness, are not able to often even tread in the remote places where these animals congregate. And then God talks about the ostrich. She has wings that cannot fly. She abandons her young. She is ugly as she may be, runs faster than the horses. And something as silly as the ostrich or the duck-billed platypus or many other of the curious creatures, one of my favorites being the leafy sea dragons found in the seas in the south of Australia. These creatures that confound us are expressions of God's creative genius and glory. And for us to be confronted in this chapter with the fact that God understood the physics of aerodynamics. No, indeed, he created the physics of aerodynamics that allow hawks and eagles to soar high into the sky before human beings even dreamt of flying. Gives us just one more reason to stop our mouths and recognize and affirm the greatness of God's all-surpassing wisdom. And so this chapter where the wisdom of God soars to the heights of the mountains and even above the mountains where the hawks and the eagles soar, we as God's people join Job in silence, meditating and pondering the diverse realities that all work together, that life on this earth would be as varied and beautiful and wonderful as it is, and giving God praise, glory, and honor, not because of what he has done in creating these things, but simply for the beauty and the all-surpassing greatness that he is. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to share your faith in a super easy way, just click the share button so you can send an episode to a friend in a text or an email or post on social media. Our blessing for today. May your heart soar as you consider the heights of God's wisdom and love. Amen.